Haha, we already run that. Why does your mother like you? Because I went to Paris again. So that's supposed to come up. Now, guys, comfort zones have the capacity to stop us from growing. I act as I know I am as a person. When you are out of comfort zone, you are more forgetful or clumsy. If you are being forgetful lately or clumsy, it's because somewhere in your life, okay, you're out of comfort zone. All right? Now, this is a real root. Doubt, fear, worry, anxiety, depression. If you know somebody who's depressed, that means they've been anxious for a while. If you know somebody who is anxious, because they've been worried for a while. If you know somebody who's been worried, it's because they've been fearful for a while. And if you know someone, do you understand what I'm going? Do you understand what's going on here? Guys, this is just not notes. This is a map. So if you are depressed, you've got to move back to anxiety. Do you understand? And then from anxiety back to, do you understand all the way back? Which one is the real girl? Which one is the real one? This one? Which one does she think is the real one? The one in the mind. So get this. When you have doubt, fear, or anxiety, it's not an indication of your potential, but a reflection of your inferior conditioning. Okay, remember we're having the whole thing about pay attention, belief systems, right? You will not act on an idea until you get emotionally involved with the idea. All right? You don't have good and bad days. You have comfort zones. You are controlled by anxiety when you go above or below your self-image. Have you ever got a job, like you're just being promoted, or got a job, is actually bigger than you? Have you ever had that experience? How do you feel? Most of us feel excited, but at the same time extremely scared. So let's map this out. Okay, no, hold on. We rationalize. Here's the thing. I'm going to move into something. We ran a plan for a guy the other day, and we done his PSR, and the plan came out he could do 12 properties. Imagine to arrive and not know, and then suddenly you run a plan that says you can do 12 houses today. How do you think he felt? Oh no, overwhelmed, totally taken, right? But there's a few things in his story. His father died, left him a bunch of money, so he ended up with a house. It was what, $2 million paid for. Okay, so you understand? He comes along with a $2 million asset base. Okay, he's in his 40s, great income. The wife has great income. Never considered investing. Comes into a conversation like this, put his hand up. Yeah, I want to become client. We run his plan. It took us 12 properties. Do you know how many houses did he buy? No, I'm not going to judge. It's his life. I don't want. As a matter of fact, I don't want him to go to bed and not sleep. Let's do 2 houses. Is that what you want to do? Okay, it's your life. The moment that he finished the 2 houses and we ran the plan again, how many houses do you think his plan triggered? 12 houses. The other 2 houses didn't even make a dent. Because by the time that we added the other 2 houses into the system, yada yada, and we ran the plan, it triggered another 12 houses. It's just a machine. The machine doesn't feel anything. It just says, bang, today, giving you your numbers is what you can do. So how many houses did he buy after we ran the plan the second time? 2 more houses. You know him, do you? All right? Guys, what I'm saying to you is this. There's nothing. Do you understand that the numbers are the numbers? You have feelings, your numbers have no feelings. Okay? So whatever it is that it triggers is whatever the numbers are saying. One of the things you're going to find out from JDL is this. If you can borrow money at 5.2%, that to me is closer to 6. So okay, let's just say the finance market's at 6%. I will do your best case scenario at 8. Does it make sense? Because I'm not going to wait for you to come and ask me, what if interest rates go up? I'm going to ask you. Can't afford it. We're not doing it. So I run my scenarios today, in today's market, at 8%. So when I run a plan for you, okay, I am doing the estimations if you went out and borrowed money at 8%. And yet, I can go and get money for you at 5.2. So if I run the figures at 8, and then I get money at 5.2, you're going to think I'm awesome, aren't you? Do you understand what I'm doing here? Because if I said to you, oh, this house is going to cost you $120 a week, and I'm costing you $129, You're not going to like me very much. But if I tell you it's going to cost 120 and cost you 90, you're going to think, how awesome is this, right? So what I want you to understand is that I am going to be conservative with you and for you. So my best case scenario is it's 2% higher than the marketplace every time. So when finance goes to 7%, we run the figures at 9. It goes to 9%, we run at 11. And then I'm not going to ask for you to ask me, right? What if the houses don't rent? I'm going to ask you. What if the houses don't rent? I'm sick of seeing, other property companies, and they go along there, and they're going to give you the estimations on how the property is going to run. And have you noticed the property is always rented 52 weeks of every year forever? How wonderful. It's just not realistic. So what I do is my best case scenario, the properties are empty for 3 weeks of every year. Now, if you had a tenant in that house for 3 years straight, you're 6 weeks ahead. But when I do the estimations for your property investments, all of them, we assume that all of them are going to be empty for 3 weeks. You know why? Because tenants move in and move out. But what are the mathematical chances of all your properties being empty? You understand? It starts to build a buffer in this thing. And then I'm going to run the number, what if the properties were empty for 2 months of every year? Before we buy. Can't afford it, we're doing it. Can't afford it, we're not doing it. I reckon. Before you do. So I ran the plan for this guy with 2% higher, empty factors, yada, 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 and it triggered 12 properties. You want to go buy 2? Fine. It's your life, not mine. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's like, I want you to know we work with you, not at you. With you, not at you. Right? So now, the conscious mind able to choose and to change. Here's what I waste. When I put a new idea for you, let's go and buy 12 properties. Here's your new job. Here's your new management position. Here's your new child. Whatever it is that happens in your life that is new, the map shows up. Okay? So the very first thing, every time. Do you remember the very first time you had a French kiss? Go there. All right? I'm not talking about like a little light one. I'm talking about a big mother of one. That one. Do you understand that you did not know anything about it? Right? It's coming. It's coming. Some of you got scared. You went to self-doubt to fear right there. Woo! But then you went back for more, didn't you? You moved into knowledge. Man, I can give you whatever. All I'm doing here is creating a memory hook by talking about a French kiss. All right? But anything that's in your life that is new, that you've never done before, that it shows up, you have nowhere to go but go into ignorance. That is how we operate as humans. You go into ignorance. Okay, how am I going to handle this? Right? And if you can now, once in ignorance, you can choose to go into self-doubt or into knowledge. You get that? So, I don't know. So if you don't know, I don't know this. Karen, I don't know how to do this. Can you help me? How do you do this? How do you do that? I'm moving into knowledge. Hey, I got this new position. I don't know how to run it. You've been running for 10 years. Can you show me? All right? You go immediately into an inquiry. Start asking for the information or whatever is new in your life. Right? You go into knowledge. Because if you don't, chances are you find yourself here. And if you find yourself in self-doubt and you go, oh my God, am I good enough? No. Chances are you can take another step back into and then into anxiety. I don't want any client at JDL to okay? Every time we run a new plan by you, this is where you're going to go. Next thing we want to do is run into knowledge. We have hundreds and hundreds of clients. You want to meet them, you want to talk to them, here's the plan, here's the best case scenario, here's this. We run all the numbers. Once you move into knowledge, into understanding, has your financial intelligence improved today? Has your understanding come up a bit? Hopefully you'll be inspired and never again you're not going to read about it. You want to know everything about trusts? You can go and buy a book. Okay, Nick Renton, Trusts, $38. Right? You can buy on a special for $25. I get nothing from recommending. He's just an Australian guy who wrote a book for Australian people. Trusts by Nick Renton. Right? Family Trust. Family Trust. By Nick Renton. So you move it to understanding. Once you have understanding, do you understand that once you start to get to go, that this goes, you have faith. Then you can go start buying multiple properties. Then you move into wealth, health, and happiness. Guys, this is no more, no less than a map. Every single time something new happens in your life, this is what's going to show first. Okay? And I want you to do is to go there or there. So the moment in which you go into self-doubt, please understand that Julio says, do not choose self-doubt. Yes, I am ignorant about this. Okay? How do I get knowledge? Now let's be honest. How many of you asked your older sister or your older brother how to French kiss? Oh, no answer whatsoever. I don't want to get personal, but you understand that we naturally go into looking for knowledge? All right? Sometimes we naturally go into self-doubt. So the question is, where's your distinction? All right? Do the numbers. So the way it works is like this. New thoughts, new perceptions, old thoughts. You can't put both of them in there. All right? So this is what some of it's happening today. As you bring in leveraging and asset building, all of that stuff, the old paradigms, how many people would walk into a room in the morning, in the afternoon leave and thinking, no, maybe we should move out of our house. Only when you see L plus O. And you get it now. And then you can choose. See, this your old paradigms are leaving. But when you actually got to do the numbers, then you're going to get into doubt. Why should I really move out my house? No. Then move into knowledge. Hey, I want a meeting with a client manager. How should I do? What are my numbers like? Can you do this? Can you? What if you understand? Self-doubt into knowledge is just posture and positioning. All right? This is the deal. Creating a new reality. Do you want to create a new reality for yourself? You got to become self-aware. Then you got to explore the possibilities and you got to commit to the transition. Okay? This is where the emotions kick in. If you do not commit to the transition, it doesn't matter how much. Have you heard the saying, paralysis by analysis? That's because people became self-aware, I got to do something, then they start exploring and they got stuck in there. Do you understand when people have no idea, totally hypnotized by income, they're not even self-aware yet? You know? So do you understand with this technology, with this conversation we're having, we want to create multimillionaires. How many people in the room now is no longer self-aware that you could become a multimillionaire? Bloody wogs, come here. Guys, I want you to get this. I did not speak the language. I didn't bring a lot of money. You understand? Like, I came over to Australia on a holiday. I just come to check out this chick. It just happened I didn't go home. Right? And the first year, I worked my butt off, and I bought the first house at the end of the first year. You get this? So when you become self-aware, you start exploring. Once you commit to the transition. I'm committed. I'm doing this. Okay? Then you can create a new reality. That's everything. Your relationships, your relationship with people, your relationship with money, your relationship with your job. Right? Self-awareness, exploring, commit to the transition for the better you.